As life happens every day around us, things are happening, but you get to choose. You get to choose that perspective. You get to choose your mindset. You get to choose where you go with what is dealt to you. If things are bad, you still get to choose where you're going to take it. If things are great and you want to celebrate, you get to choose where to take it. And that's what this book is all about. Connection and community building is the foundation for any good, significant, successful business. If you don't have people around, you're going to have no business. Like Zig Ziglar said, you build the people and then the people build your business.
You're listening to Rise from the Ashes podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2. I'm back again with Russ Hedge. On the first part of this, we spoke about how Russ was in corporate and then jumping off into the unknown territory of entrepreneurship in COVID, of all places. I know it's complete madness, but apparently it's possible. I'm looking at the person who did it. And in the process of doing all this, he found out he had the big C. I'm so grateful today for having Russ on the show because, as he said earlier, or on our last episode, he has now been declared completely disease-free, which I am amazed for. Russ, congratulations on that. And also, I know you have an event coming up involving your new book. Yes. I would love to have a conversation about that, what it's about, when's the event, and a bit about what comes next as well.
Sure. Well, I am super excited. You know, part of all that I'm about is inspiring and encouraging other people. And I've been able to do that through book form with my first book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, with the anthologies that I wrote, and now with my new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, which will be out November 3rd. And super excited about November 3rd. Not only will the book be released that day, and the first day it'll be free for everybody on ebook, it'll also be available on paperback and hardback. And we're looking at doing an audio book on this as well. But we're also gonna have 2 live stream events around it. So my live stream Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie, every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The Monday show on the 3rd will be celebrating the release of the book. And then we're going to have a special, I have another show called Russ Reels Live. We're going to have a special episode of Russ Reels Live at 4 p.m. on that day. This will have a whole number of friends and people, and Baz, you are definitely invited to come through and wish me well and just talk about the book. And it's going to be an amazing time to promote the book and get it out there. So 2 live streams that day, 8 a.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Pacific. And then we will be moving into just promotion in other ways. Going to have an actual in-person book signing here in Oregon at a bookstore that will be coming up that month in November as well, and be doing that. So a lot of things around the book, but really what's exciting me the most is really getting out the phrase that I love, and that is life happens every day around us. Things are happening, but you get to choose. You get to choose that perspective. You get to choose your mindset. You get to choose where you go with what is dealt to you. If things are bad, you still get to choose where you're going to take it. If things are great and you want to celebrate, you get to choose where to take it. And that's what this book is all about.
I love that. And I love what you've just said about that as well. You get to choose. And it's a lot of conditioning happens when we perceive a situation that is either negative or not for us. But you've sort of flipped the script on that and went, it doesn't matter what it is for us. And you find the good or the perception of good and the growth in that, which I find truly remarkable because it's a skill set. It's a habit you build.
Yeah, and I think that I love the quote. Credit's been given to Ed Milet and to Tony Robbins for this quote, but life happens for you, not to you. Life is not just happening to you every day. It's happening for you. And what does that mean? It is happening, and then you get to take what happens to you and do exactly what I said. You get to choose, and you get to move forward, or you freeze and you move backwards, right? It's really happening for you. And if you let it just happen to you, that is your own choice. So every day it's happening for you. You get to learn and grow and build, even off the negative things. You get to learn. I've learned so much off of negative things that have happened in my life. I've learned so much off of my cancer journey. I've learned so much off of times when things just fell apart, and I moved forward and been better for it. So that is just, I think, so important every day to remember that life happens for you, not to you.
I love that. And you're right. I mean, people see a success journey or their success story. You mentioned Tony Robbins. I was privileged enough to be mentored by him when I first started my journey. An incredible guy, incredible company, incredible organization. He's done some amazing things, but he didn't do it alone. He had a team, he had people around him, and he was empowered by a singular question, a bit like yourself. That question for him was, how can I have an extraordinary life? And you've sort of embodied the same sort of philosophies as him, but in your own dynamic way, with your own trials, tribulations, and successes. The book is a part of it. The podcast is a part of it. What's the proudest thing you've accomplished so far, other than obviously the obvious?
In my whole life,
Hmm.
the proudest thing that I accomplished was catching my beautiful wife and getting her to marry me.
So what's her name?
I married way up. I mean, I know you hear that phrase, but it's true with me. And so thankful. And I have two amazing kids, a wonderful daughter-in-law, an amazing family. And yeah, that's my biggest accomplishment. Because, is what we're talking about, Baz. Those things are eternal things to me that make more difference than any business thing I could ever do. But they also affect every business thing that I'll ever do.
Yeah. Well, you've touched on something there I think the listeners will really resonate with, because a lot of that's overlooked. We think the business as entrepreneurs, especially the earlier stages, I know I did, was all about the business and me and what I wanted. What I didn't realize, and a lot of entrepreneurs do the same thing, it's not about me. It's about external things that create your identity, fuel your life, your wife being one of them, your kids being another, and the impact you're having that the life you choose, no matter what's going on. What's the biggest lesson you've learnt regarding growth in your business specifically? What was the hardest lesson that you had to learn?
The biggest lesson I've learned, those are two questions to me.
Yes.
The biggest lesson I've learned is that connection and community building is the foundation for any good, significant, successful business. If you don't have people around, you're going to have no business. Like Zig Ziglar said, you build the people and then the people build your business. So you've got to have these connections and true relationships with people for any business to do any good at all. Even if you're not directly in contact with a lot of the people, you're dealing with so many people to put your business together and to make it run. And then they are connecting with people or devising ways to connect with people. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned over my lifetime. The hardest lesson I've learned, I think, is one event does not make your whole life. And I've had some big events, in my life. I had a near car accident when I was young. I had the cancer journey. My parents both passed, one from lung cancer, one from dementia. Those were life-defining moments, but they also didn't stop my life. I've had clients who, believe it or not, I've had business situations where, as much as I'm a happy, upbeat, go-lucky guy, it didn't go well. And it was really hard and difficult for me. But also, that was not a life-defining moment. I mean, it was not a moment where it stopped everything else. Every moment you have gives you an opportunity to live, learn, grow. The hard ones and the most challenging ones are often the best as far as helping you to learn and grow and be better in the future. When we're just comfortable and everything is going smoothly, we're not learning a lot. But when things are a little bumpy, you got that sandpaper. God's got his sandpaper going on you, that you're going to learn so much. And so I think that's the hardest lesson I learned, that some of those difficult things that were hard on me, very hard on me, were not life stopping moments. They actually were life propelling moments, really.
I love that point of view, and I think it's very, very true. I mean, one of mine personally was losing 2.1 million to everything that I held good and dear, and as a foundation, and then was taken away from me. Everything fell apart. But that lesson propelled me into something else, and I'm sure entrepreneurs listen to this now, going, "Oh my God, that's what happened to me." Russ's story, what happened to? So reach out to Russ and have a conversation with him and say, "Russ, what the fuck? How can I do this?" And then he will help you, guide you through it. I want to speak about the book and what you've got coming out. What are the dates of the book? What is the book, if you can share, and what to expect if they reach out to you on LinkedIn and they want to come to the live events?
Okay, so we're talking about the new book, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Life Happens and Then You Choose, November 3rd. It will release, and releases on Amazon and ebook. It'll also be out either on that date or right after on paperback and hardback. And I'm really super excited for that. I have 2 live streams on the 3rd to promote that at 8 a.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Pacific. Find all my information at russhedge.com, but I love to hang out on LinkedIn, and all of the ads, promotion, and everything will be on LinkedIn for not only the live streams, but the book release and everything going on. So really, really excited for that. And the book will be, it'll be a blessing. I've been blessed with the honor of writing it. And I think God has really blessed me with some great information in there for everybody. And then again, russhedge.com. If you want to connect with me on any social media, I'm on all social medias, all the major ones. All the connections are there. You can email me, call me. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar. And there's a free download on how to connect and build community on my website. Also, you can look at LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn weekly newsletter that releases every Monday, which is really encouraging. And if you get my free PDF download on my website, you also get daily emails that just encourage you. They're just encouraging you, and they'll tell you about my live streams coming up or things that are happening that can encourage you more. So that's what I'm all about. And Baz, what a blessing. Thank you for letting me be here with you today.
The privilege and pleasure is mine, Russ. Thank you very much for sharing your story, sharing your love. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience before we depart today?
Sure. Yeah, don't give up. When life seems to deal you lemons, make lemonade, as they say. Learn to adapt and change and grow. When it seems like there's no way out, there is a way. You just have to find it. As Michael Jordan said, find a way under, over, around, find a way to make it through what you're going through. And you're going to have to go through difficulties in life. That's just the way life is. But there is hope. There is a way. And I am just thankful to God every day that I have found that. And I'm always available at russhedge.com. Reach out to me. I would love to chat with you. And there's no cost to connect and chat with me. So there you go.
You're awesome. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thanks very much for your message. For my listeners, you make this possible. This was made for inspiration for you and whoever you're connected with. This is Rise from the Ashes podcast. I'm your host, Baz. Until next time, have an amazing day. Remember, you're the miracle. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.